Good afternoon, Mark. I know you've been waiting on this, so here we go. This is your lost soul from Jawa's Junkyard, also known as Dagan Gera's hilt. Both sides look pretty much the same, except on one side you will have a 1.5mm retention screw. On the side with the retention screw is your aux button. The other side is your power button, and you chose not to have those lit because you're going to do some work on it. Let's open it up. And like I said, this is a very heavy hilt. So with our upper, we can see in here, with a little bit of, not a lot of light, I can see there are the pins in there for the upper section. Now, word of warning about this upper section. It is, if you can kind of hear, it is loose. It kind of rattles around. The size of this section here holds it from falling out that way, but what holds it from falling out this way are the switch buttons. Okay, they are resin, plastic. If you were to take your blade and push it in without anything behind here and just push too hard, I would imagine there is the possibility of shearing those off. I mean, you would have to push hard. They're pretty sturdy, but that's my word of warning. If you're going to push in the blade, put your chassis in first so it's got something supporting it. Okay. And the other thing is don't try to untwist that with the chassis, because it's going to be very difficult to get it in and out. So let's go ahead and look at the chassis. We have a chassis from Jimmy Saber Junk, and these are printed in PLA, very lightweight but very nicely done. And we have your hand-picked quartz point, fit perfectly in there, and just had to make a couple little pieces to go in there to actually hold the specific size of your thing. Underneath our ring is the micropixel, which lights it beautifully. We've got our Proffie 3.9 right here. Now this is, if you were to lift up, then you can kind of slide that out if you need to. You should not need to. You can get to your card with a pair of tweezers, slide it out. With a 90-degree cable, you can easily plug in and recharge, or not recharge, reprogram it. You've got your Smuggler's Outpost Darkside 28mm speaker down here, and our 18650 battery. Spring side is negative. And that's really about all there is to this hilt, or this chassis. So we're going to put a battery in it, and we got our kill switch here.
Come on, I want to show you something.
And you can see just how beautifully that crystal lights up. And while it sounds good here, it sounds 10 times better inside the hilt. So as you remember, these are keyed, and they will lock in so that you can keep your crystal, whether you want to see some of the grid here, the bars, or if you just want to see that. You're going to take this, slide it in gently, and when it's in, you will not see any of the gold section. I mean, that's, there's a little bit of springiness there, but that means it's in all the way. So then we take our palm, our grip, and we have a spacer here. We're going to just drop that in there. It goes to the bottom, and we're going to unscrew this little tail piece here, and slide that in there. Okay, now to make sure that we've got it up against there, we're going to tighten this up so that's tight. Now, if you don't like the way this is clocked, what you do is sand that spacer ring. Sand that just a little bit and it will turn it to a different position. Okay, now that's in and tight, since we don't have our screw on this side, here is our activation.
Release me.
Let me put a blade in real quick and we'll take a look at it like that. This is a 7/8, and my 7/8 blade fits quite tight, so I'm not going to bother with the chassis retention or the blade retention.
I'm Cal. Ninth Sister.
And this is an amazing sounding font. So that kind of wraps up that. There is also a connector here, and I'm not going to actually do it, but as you know, we've got a second one. And this one, I did light up the switches. They just mirror the blade.
Ninth Sister.
But other than that, they are identical. And with this, they will fit together. However, the spacers that Jimmy included in his kit do not really account for this. So they don't fit tight enough to push the pins against with that in there. So they don't both work. I can get one of them to work, but not both. So if I was going to have both of these, I would print a new spacer, but without that, it's not really needed. So if there are any questions or issues with this, you just let me know, and I will plan to get this in the mail to you first thing in the morning. Thank you.